Well, hello everybody and happy Sunday to you. So today we're making this wonderful mixed media heart, and I'm starting off on a canvas, a 12 by 12 canvas. I'm using fluid matte medium to put my all kinds of papers down, wrapping paper, vintage papers, book pages, collage pages that I've made. The reason I use fluid matte medium is because it's really fluid, it's light, and it dries fast, and I love working fast. And so with the background, I'm really not thinking too hard as to where I'm going to place everything. I just really want to try and play and have fun, and backgrounds are really for getting the mojo happening. And so I'm just going to smooth it out with my credit card. I like the bumps, but I had a lot going on, so I wanted to smooth it out a little bit. Now I'm using Inktense pencils, which are a water-soluble but permanent once you dry it, pencil which I love. And I'm just making marks, and now I'm using Neon Color 2s, which are also water-soluble. This is just the act of play and getting things moving and getting color down. And those pencils and the neon colors, they mix when you're putting color down, and I just love the unexpected things that happen when you do that. So now I'm using fluid acrylic, and I like using fluid acrylic because it moves easy and the pigment is really high, so that you get great color even if you're mixing or watering down. And I have a big tub of gesso that I use as my white, and I like the gesso because it gives this kind of scratchy textural feel. And so I'm just laying color down here and there and mixing in some gesso to get some variation of color. And I'm still not thinking too much about what I'm doing. I'm adding a little bit more marks. And again, this is all for texture. And I often get asked why go through all the work of creating this background just to cover it up. But all of that texture plays a part in your final piece, and it takes a piece from flat to fabulous, from rich and deep and interesting, from nothing to deep and rich and interesting. So I'm using one of my stencils here. This one is actually, these are both my stencils, but this is Old World 2 stencil. The other one was a Geo Square stencil. And I'm just now trying to simplify, and I'm now starting to think about the composition and what's happening. I know I'm going to be placing that heart in the middle, but I let the edges be seen. And so I'm making sure that there's interest on the edges. And I'm using black gesso, and again, it's for the texture. I want all of that texture to show up underneath the layer that I put on top. And so I'm just sketching out roughly a heart with a Sketch and Wash pencil by General, I believe it is. And I'm just quickly laying in my flowers. I'm using my fingers, and I'm using my high flow acrylics. That is quinacridone violet. I'll use quinacridone magenta, naphthol red, vermilion, teal, a little bit of Prussian blue, green gold. But I'm just laying some of that in, and now I switched, and I've started adding some medium body to heavy body paints to really give those flowers some goodness and texture. Again, using my gesso as my white, it gives this chalky textural feel, and I just love it. So I'm just bringing out all of the stuff in the stash. So I'm using some sample paints from Lowe's. And the reason I'm using this is because this color is a beige, and it's kind of warm and creamy. And I know I'm going to be adding some gesso back in, so I needed that contrast so that everything didn't look the same. And I very rarely will use just one color on a background. I always use a couple of colors, just so that it doesn't look flat. And I put that layer in, that background layer, so that I could see that there was so much going on that I needed to see how things were looking. and I'll go back over it several times, kind of using a reductive painting technique. And the reason I do that is because the paint, I'm working wet on wet, and the paint will grab in certain spots, and I'll get these wonderful smears around as I'm painting around the flowers and the leaves. I grab a little bit of that green or a little bit of the red, and it makes this wonderful smear, and it's artsy and lovely and interesting. So now I'm beginning to simplify the middle of the heart with my gesso, and again, that's that contrast. The outside is more of that creamy, and the inside's going to be more white. And I'll add color on top of that, but because the background is different, they will stand out a little bit more. So now I'm beginning to add a little bit of color and interest on the outside of that heart, just to again give it a story, to give it your eye, to give the viewer's eye a place to look, and but not too much. And I want to make sure that the colors that I'm putting around are contrasting colors that don't make everything blend right back in again. And so I'll do this a couple of times to get the right feel. And I'm going back in with color and gesso now, and adding back in some of those scratches that maybe got left out or covered over, just for that interest and texture. And when I scratch back like that with my pencil, it reveals the layers underneath, and it's that I call it magic. So now we're just jazzing up the flowers, adding interest and highlight and contrast and depth and dimension and all of those things when you begin to add your mixture of colors. And again, these are all still wet. I'm not drying. And so all those colors are mixing, and that's the important piece about creating like this. And I'm using my pencil and scratching back, and again, all of those layers revealed as I scratch back just adds again more interest to the piece. I'm breaking out my Neocolor 2s again, and I know it's water soluble, and the base layer, once you get paint on it, it's sealed and it won't reactivate. But because this is the top layer, I will have to seal it with a fixative, and I'll show you that in a minute. But the Neocolor crayon gives it a really interesting look. It's like an oil pastel almost, but not. And so I activated that Neocolor 2 around the heart to give that line of the heart some really good beefiness, if that's a word. And now I'm using my charcoal pencil to do some rough sketches all the way around, to do some shading. And it's important to notice that I'm holding my pencil not like a pencil, not like I'm writing, but kind of it's a short, I've used it enough that it's pretty short, but I'm still holding it at the end, trying to not hold it like I'm writing, so that my lines are really sketchy and artistic. And now's the point where we just do the dance. We go back and forth until it just looks right. I've been using my pastels even on the final layers, because again, it's that one more piece of interest. Like, what is that when somebody looks at your work? And it's a great way to add color and highlight without committing to anything, because if it doesn't look good, you just wipe it off. You just grab a baby wipe and wipe it off. So I'm finishing up here with some really super sketchy lines, and just trying to finish the details. So there you have it, my friends. I will put our word down for this piece, which is grateful, because I am so grateful for you. And this is also free for you today as the start of birthday week begins. I will also seal this piece with Spectrafix. It is a odorless sealer that will fix your water-soluble media until you can actually seal your piece, and I will seal this with a acrylic varnish. All right, my friends, stay tuned. I have a wonderful message for you in just a minute. Hello, lovies. Happy Sunday to you. I'm so glad you're here with me today. And I pretty much went over everything within the video. If you have any questions, you can always ask me some questions down below in the YouTube comment about what I did or anything like that. But I just wanted to do a face-to-face because today starts birthday week and there's all kinds of goodies for you and for you to take advantage of and get gifts and all kinds of stuff. So it starts today, and every day there's going to be something new on sale, and there'll also be new giveaways each day, new freebies, maybe not giveaways each day, but there'll be a freebie every day that you can grab. There'll be 2 or 3, and they go fast. I wish I could offer more, but they just go so fast. So be on the lookout. There is going to be giveaways on Instagram, like a set of, like a couple of stencils and prints on wood, kind of all together. I don't have everything lined out as of the filming of this video, but I will. Keep an eye out for that. On the website there is going to be like a dedicated area page for everything that's happening for birthday week. So, and I'm going to go over just a couple things of what's going to be on sale. But I do want to say that this is made for you today, and it says grateful. And that's because I'm so grateful for you and for this journey that we share, and for my tribe and the people that encourage me every single week and send me emails and share your stories. And I'm just so incredibly blessed. I don't want to get all like, you know, teary, but that's just it's probably my age and menopause. But I'm just incredibly grateful. And so this is the freebie today. It's a free print of this. So you can head on over to the website. I'll have a link below in the YouTube description that will take you right to the link, and you can get yours free. It's downloadable. It'll come in your email, or if you have an account in the shop, it'll be in your account as well. So you can print that out and hang it and remind yourself of how grateful I am for you and for this journey that we share together. So that is the freebie for today. And today's special is 10% off all stencils. And they go fast. I have a certain amount that I have, and they really do go fast. So if you're thinking about it, don't wait. Every now and again I get somebody that says, I missed it. So anyway, stencils today, 10% off. I know 10% isn't a lot, but I try to keep the prices low on everything every day, so there's just not a whole lot. And I don't do a whole lot of sales. I do this because I want to say thank you. I'm so thankful for you. So today's stencils, 10% off. And then tomorrow, Monday, is prints on wood, and they are 40% off. Prints on wood and collage packs. They're 40% off, so collage packs are like nothing. They're basically free. And the prints on wood, so I have all different sizes. So these are 4x4s, these are 4x6s, 6x6s, 5x7s, up to 8x10s, and then they go larger, 11x14 and 12x12s. So you could really have a wide range of sizes for the prints on wood, and they're ready to hang. This one's not signed yet, but they're ready to get hang, sealed, signed, all that kind of stuff for you. And these little ones right here, they make the best gifts. I have several people who order tons of them for coworkers and for Christmas and all of those kinds of things. So these end up being like less than $5, the little ones. So they're 40% off. So I hope you will grab a few of those. Tuesday is all originals are 40% off. So this one will be 40% off. So, I mean, and even the clearance is going to be 40% off. So that means you'll be able to get an original for maybe 10 bucks, maybe even less. Because some of the clearance ones are down to $19, so 40% off of that. Pretty dang good deal. So all the originals, including the large ones, you know, of course you have to pay shipping and that kind of thing, but everything is 40% off. Then Wednesday, all workshops are 40% off. So if you've been hesitating on a workshop and you weren't sure, you can. This is a great time to take advantage of that. I do 2 sales a year, birthday week and Christmas, the holiday season, and that's pretty much it. So now is the time. So 40% off all workshops, and my workshops I think are pretty inexpensive. So because I want to make it accessible to everybody. I want everybody to create and be encouraged and that kind of thing. So like the new transparent layers workshop is $39, 40% off that. That's pretty good for a jam-packed workshop. So take advantage of it. Yeah. So that's it. Sunday today, 10% off stencils and then all kinds of goodies. On the website there is the location where all of the freebies are going to be. There'll be a schedule of, you know, like what's happening. Coupon codes. Oh, coupon codes. They'll be, that might be important. They're going to be listed below in the YouTube description and on the website. I'll have them everywhere. I'll have stuff on Instagram. I'll have links in my profile on Instagram for all of that. So, grab your goodies. I hope that you get some good stuff. And just remember that I do this for you, to say thank you. I'm just so incredibly grateful for the journey we share. I just have made some incredible contacts and friendships and gosh, shared stories, and tried to walk with you and you with me, and you always encourage me along my way, and I'm just so grateful. So I hope that you grab some goodies. I hope your Sunday is awesome, and I hope that you always know that you are loved.